A bit of testing, haven't you?
You know it's
I
taking?
can take a listen from here.
Oh, right. Oi!
Yeah, it works.
I'm going to settle rear again because this is very,
Okay.
very, not very brilliant. So, you just talk to Alexander now.
Who's asking the question? Are you asking the question?
Yeah, I've got a couple.
I'll go on.
Let's go.
You got a couple.
I've got a couple. There we go.
Go on then.
Oh shit. Right. How did Ozfest go? Did you all get along?
Yeah, it was really good. It went really well, and we all got along very, very well, actually. Yeah. I mean, I think everybody thought we wasn't going to get along because we had our own tour bus each, really. So we didn't travel together. And we all met at the gig. And we got along great. I mean, it was really good, and probably the best we've ever got along, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, it was really, really well. And I think we've all seen, after all the years, it's finally brought us round to being able to look at things properly.
Did you, was it like that very first gig? What was it like? Was it a bit of a buzz?
First gig? Yeah, it was really good. Yeah. I enjoyed the whole tour. I thought it was really, really good. I mean, obviously, with so many bands on, it was difficult for us to. Nobody could have a sound check as such because by the time it's no point in us going down at 11 o'clock in the morning to have a sound check to play at 10 o'clock at night, hanging around all day. So that was the awkward thing. I'd have liked to have had a sound check, all of us. But, and we were using gear that, like the sound system and stuff, which once it's been thrashed all day by so many bands, by the time you use it, it's fucked.
Yeah.
But it was great. It did go over really well.
Where did the set list come from?
We just tried different ones. The first three shows that we've done was a different set list because we put a couple of different numbers in that we thought after 3 days we thought that would change them.
Because you did it Behind the Wall of Sleep, didn't
Done
you?
Beyond the Wall of Sleep, and we pulled that out after about 3 nights.
Any reason?
We just felt like we could replace it with something else that's probably a bit more known.
Yeah, I mean, people did say in some reviews that people didn't really know.
Yeah.
Well, you know, like the hardcore
But
fans.
we thought, well, we'll try and do something a bit obscure.
Yeah.
But no,
What's that?
I just said the more hardened fans would know it, but some of the new kids wouldn't know it.
Isn't it somehow strange? I mean, after Ozzy and Weezer made all this bad press in '95 and '96, that now just in a rush you get together and do this too. I mean, it's for the fans, it's really confusing because
For the fans, it was confusing for us as well. I mean, we went to rehearsal and I hadn't seen Geezer since we broke up, and it's really difficult for all of us because we'd all left on bad terms, really. And then to meet in one room after, just like that.
Yeah.
And we just, quite honestly, it just all fell into place. Nobody said anything about the past stuff. We just went straight in and we got on well.
it was professional things this time.
It went in, we went in with a professional attitude, but it was great. It was just really nice to see everybody and all the problems we had just sort of fell apart, just fell away, and we went straight into talking about old times and everything, It went really well. But at first, I think everybody's worried about seeing each other. They just thought, what's going to happen?
What with Bill Ward, I mean?
Bill, I spoke to Bill last night, actually. I spoke to Bill Ward last night. We didn't use Bill on that tour purely because originally when this tour was talked to me about doing, originally it was just going to be, it started off with me going to join Ozzy for a couple of numbers. And then it started off with, then it got into Sabbath doing a short set and then involving Geezer. And it grew as we went on, the ideas. Yeah. But with Bill, we didn't think Bill would be able to, quite honestly, to pull Bill in to do that tour. We were concerned in case Bill couldn't make it, couldn't do it. Because it was a lot of dates and important dates for us. Without enough long time rehearsals. We didn't think Bill would be out because we didn't rehearse much. You see, we just went straight in and played. We rehearsed, we had a couple of days rehearsal. Most of that was talking about old times. So, and it just locked in. We just locked in. We got really used to playing. The only rehearsals we had to do was for the drummer. But I think if Bill had come in, it would have took a lot more time, we'd have had to focus a lot more onto it.
So you say the whole rumors about problems between Bill and Sharon Osbourne or Bill and Geezer, just rumors. It was not the fact.
Bill and Bich.
Yeah, well, in the internet and in the press, you read tons of rumors for reasons.
They didn't have any problems. No, I mean, I don't know what problems Ozzy or Sharon or Bill had. I don't think they had a problem as such. It was probably a little dispute, maybe. But I mean, it would have been nice to use Bill on those shows, but we thought it was just a trial thing, really. It was just an idea to do. And now, now the idea is to go out and do a proper thing. And Bill's going to be included in the next shows we do at the NEC. Well, that's what I was talking to Bill about last night, about doing that. Bill wants to do it.
Yeah, he's happy to.
Oh, Bill's fine, yeah. Bill's fine. And I think at the time, anyway, when we were doing that, Bill was doing his own tour as well. He was,
he's touring Australia, it's next week.
He's doing Australia next week. He goes next week. Yeah. I never knew that. He told me. How did you know that?
The internet.
Oh, God, of course.
The global newspaper.
Can't work mine.
Yeah, he's
But Bill's in fine. Fettel, he really wants to play on these next two shows, so, and we'll see how it goes, because what we're going to do is bring Bill in and rehearse and see how it works out. I mean, if Bill's got the stamina to do that. So that's the main concern that we've got, is Bill having the stamina to be able to play a lot of shows and a big tour. And I don't know, nobody knows. Even Bill doesn't know, really, because he hasn't been out on the road for a long time doing that, playing at that sort of power.
Because Bill, on his these shows that he plays in America and Australia, whatever, he just sings.
He sings and plays, yeah. So he plays a bit. But although he said to me last night he's going to be playing a lot more now. Now he knows these shows are coming up with us. That he's hoping to, to build into playing more into the power. So we'll see. I mean, we've all got that as a test, really. I mean, I hope he can. I hope he does put it through. It should be nice up there on the tour.
Do you plan to record any new songs for these shows in the NEC, or just going to be just Sabbath?
We're talking about doing maybe a couple of new tracks for that show. We're hoping to record the show, the 2 nights, and do a live album and that, and with a couple of new tracks. That's what hopefully the plan is. I mean, things could change, but that's what we're talking about at the moment. I never like to say anything now until it's definite, and as definite as it can be anyway. But that's the sort of plan.
But it seems more likely now than it did in 1993.
Oh yes, absolutely. Well, we've already broke the ice now. We've gone out and played, and a lot of people out there want to see us, and we all got on well, which was the problem we had before was a lot of problems. There was different. I'm not signed to a record company at the moment, and neither. And as I said before, we had all these different record companies arguing with each other. So that was a bit of problems for a start before we bloody ever went out and tour. And then we had the different managements and different this and that. But this time, the idea was just to drop all that, and just get out and play. And once you can do that, then you can solve all the rest of it on the side. But once record companies go, you can't play there. And the other ones go, oh, they're not playing with them. It just causes, makes it really difficult before you can even get round to doing what you want to do.
No, that's a good question.
That was it, was it?
Yeah, that was it.
Let's get on to how was the solo album coming along?
It's coming along very well now. We're on track of what we want to do now. I went through different stages. First of all, I started off writing stuff we'd done, Ari. And it was really good, actually, the stuff we've done, but more instrumental type things, more film type ideas. So it went from that into bringing Glenn Hughes came over to my house, and we started doing some stuff together, writing some stuff, and went in my studio and put ideas down, and that was really good as well. But then I went to LA and worked with this producer out there, Bob Marlett, and then we went a different direction again to what I'd done with Glenn and Don, and I quite liked what we were doing because it was enabling me to play some heavier stuff, but with more modern approach, maybe, you know. And it's worked out pretty good. Well, it's certainly worked well up to now. And we've done about 6 or 7 ideas now, tracks. And I'll go back next week and write another half a dozen or so.
Just like that.
Yeah, actually, it is as quick. It is as quick as that. As a matter of fact, working with this guy, it's tremendous. He's brought a lot of ideas out of me, quick. I mean, they did come really quick, surprisingly enough. It's funny to say that, but it did. It came out very, very quick. In fact, when I was with Glenn, we were writing stuff every day. You know, we had a different song every day, done and finished. And it's the same with this guy. We're doing the song. We could do a track a day if we wanted. I dare, I've said it now.
Yeah.
I'll go back now. Nothing can happen. But it was great. It was just because he was giving me ideas. He was putting like sounds down on a tape, and then I was putting a riff to them, and it sort of opened up a new way for me to come up with ideas.
Any time scales? When you hope to have it?
I'd like to have it done pretty soon. I think we're talking of just going out writing these tracks now for the next month. I'm going to be out there for a month in LA. Then I come back, and then we go into rehearsals with us. Maybe to write and maybe to rehearse for the tour. And after that, then I'm planning on going into to finish them off. Then. So that'll be around January, I suppose.
Yeah, so quite a while off yet then.
Why suddenly have you invested so much time into the solo project? I mean, it was talked about a solo record for years now, and suddenly you left Sabbath at down and only investing time into the solo.
Well, a lot of it wasn't investing the time into the solo record. It was just taking time out to see what I wanted to do. A lot of it. I mean, I just wanted to see what I'm going to do, and get away from just getting an open mind on. And even then, I still didn't know what I wanted to do because I started working with Don Area, and I really liked what we were doing then. But it was a different thing. It was really evilly sort of film music, if you like, that we ended up doing. More. I mean, very. I liked it. I liked what we were doing. But a lot of the stuff you wouldn't be able to sing on it. It was just too weird. And then Glenn came involved, and then we wrote a different thing, more melodic sort of stuff. But I mean, that really wasn't the sort of thing I was wanting to do. It was nice to do it with Glenn, but it wasn't the sort of thing I want to release as an album at this time. And so when I went to LA to work with this producer, actually Rob Halford suggested him, and I met him with Rob Halford. So I tried him, and it really opened up a new thing for me.
Why don't you do an instrumental album?
Well, that's what I was planning on doing, an instrumental. That's what it started off with, Don, so to do an instrumental album. And I mean, that's still possible, but I think at the moment people will be expecting something of a vocal record. I think at first, I don't know. I think so, and I can always put down another thing with Don or somebody, later. I've just got to tread carefully really on what I'm doing. I wanted to find a direction of what I wanted to go off onto now, and I think this is it. What I've been doing with the Bob Marley stuff.
What will happen to the material that you recorded with Glenn?
I don't know. I mean, there are some good songs there. I think there's some good tracks.
You heard? Yeah.
I don't know. Glenn asked me that, actually. I saw him in LA, and he did ask me what we're going to do next time. I don't know. It'll probably be on Glenn's album. But yeah, you know, I mean, Glenn's guy, I like working with Glenn. He's a great vocalist, great stuff. But I think the project at the moment is going more of a meaner edge to it, more of a meaner vocal approach than the nice approach.
Just turn it over.
Is it Rodney?
No, it's only 50 minutes each side, isn't it?
Oh,
So you-
blimey, I don't know. God.
Dictaphone thing. Give you a chance to breathe, isn't it?
Hello?
Oh,
So you think of touring also with the record, or is it just one
With
thing?
my stuff.
yeah,
With
so
your stuff, yeah.
Yes, I mean that's also a possibility. I mean, I'd like to use on this album one sort of main singer going through it. I mean, it's really moving quick at the minute. There's a lot of different singers now that's coming up and wanting to sing on it, known singers. But I've got to be careful because if I have every track with different singers on, it's going to be difficult to tour with that sort of thing.
possible, won't it?
Yeah. So I want one particular singer to sing, and then just have a couple of guests join in.
Right.
So then I can tour with it then, with that, probably with that same singer.
The whole solo thing, should it be something constant always beside now Black Sabbath, or is it just like, well, I do it once, do one tour, and then again in 10 years?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't really thought of it that far.
Okay.
I'd just like to, first and foremost for me, is to make an album that I like, and then with the people that I like, and then see what happens. I mean, it'd be nice to tour with it.
Do you see a future for Black Sabbath after the reunion? I mean, as in Tony Iommi, say, Cozy Powell, you know, the Black Sabbath that isn't Ozzy and Geezer.
Again, it's hard to think of that because now we've got the original Black Sabbath together again. It's hard to sort of
I'd follow that.
it's hard to sort of say, well, can we go on with Black Sabbath after that? You know. Again, because we're coming to all that criticism again and all that stuff. I'm sure, like even my own stuff, it's not going to be that varied off the Black Sabbath thing because I write the riffs and stuff anyway. So, you know, it's only going to be probably the same as what I do. So I haven't really thought of it any further than that. I mean, if the way we've been talking with Ozzy and Geese and stuff is to do something that's on a bigger scale and going out touring and doing an album. And, I mean, everybody wants to do that at the moment, in theory. But you know, of course, then we've got to make it work and make it happen. But we broke the barriers of the first part. Is getting on together. That's over with. So we're all right there. So I'd like to do that and do my own stuff as much as those Geese, I suppose. I'd like to do his own stuff and maybe Ozzy. So we've all got our own separate things. Plus we've got the thing with Sabbath as well.
Well, Geezer's on tour at the moment.
That's right. Yeah.
He's playing.
Well, it's finished now, isn't it?
I mean, he's playing today.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, in America.
Oh, right.
He's back here. He's playing 2 shows in.
I'm pretty sure we said that. I was going to call him up.
And,
I thought he was at home.
and he's playing London next Thursday. And,
Is he?
Nottingham on Friday.
Next Thursday. Oh, I'm in Europe then.
So would you say the reunion is something which also can last forever, or is it definitely to say in 3 years there will be definitely nothing? How is it?
You can't say, and I don't want to open my mouth there because it's hard to say.
So what would you expect?
We could say, oh yeah, we're going to stay together now for 5 years or whatever, and then in a couple of months we could go, oh that's it, we're not doing it now. You just don't know, it's so fickle. It'd be nice to think that we could certainly do a big tour and then everybody see us who hasn't seen us before or whatever, or has always wanted to see us. It'd be nice to do that. Then after that, who knows? I mean, maybe we could do another album or something, I don't know. We're not really, we're playing it step by step at the moment. We're not sort of, we can only plan so far. And as far as we've talked about at the minute, he's doing touring next year.
Gibson guitars?
Gibson guitars. Yes, I don't know about that. I'm there with Gibson again.
Yeah. I've seen the pictures.
It didn't.
Well, yeah, it started off with the pickup. I'd done my own pickup, and I'm really pleased with that because it's the first one they've ever done as a signature pickup. Though Gibson never done one before, so it was great. It was a great honour to be able to do the first one. And now we're doing the guitar now. So as we speak, I mean, I get the first one of the guitar in Europe next week. They're going to present that to me. So it'll be crap, man.
Well,
So, no, it'll be good because they're putting a lot behind it.
is it after some music fair? Is it, or is it just at their factory or whatever?
I have no idea. I know I'm going out there to see. How it started off was I had a fax from Gibson saying would I appear in at this that do. And the Cardigans are playing there, so they want me to walk on stage and surprise the Cardigans.
Right.
So that's how it is. And at the same time, they're going to present me with the guitar. And at the same time, I'm meeting the head of Volvo for some reason. I've no idea why. So, well, they've amalgamated with Volvo apparently. So this is all news to me. So I'll let you know after next week.
Oh, I always wanted to ask about your password thing.
About what?
Your password thing, because we had so much rumors in the press. Little change from topic. Because what really happened? I mean, everybody was telling us Rob Halford would join Black Sabbath.
Oh.
Yeah, especially the German press was full of it. Yeah, every week we had news about Bill Ward is coming back with Rob Halford and with Geezer Butler. And
Well, that's rumours though, isn't it? That's all.
yeah, but what was the starting point? Was it just a meeting?
No, the starting. Well, the idea was just for me to go over and. The idea was for Rob and myself to get together and see what sort of stuff we could, music we could make. That was the plan.
Mm.
And it just we met and whatever else. That's when I met Bob Marlett, who I'm using now. But it didn't materialise as such due to various different things. So it didn't really happen.
Would it be good to have Rob Halford as a new back for this? What would you say? It wasn't just like the same like with Ian Gillan, or
Well, it wasn't going to be. It wasn't. So the idea was just to write, see what sort of stuff we could do with Rob, see what sort of album we could make, or I could make. And that's a dead issue now. We haven't thought of any. There's no other ideas of Black Sabbath with anybody else at the moment because we've got Black Sabbath with Ozzy now, so we can't sort of say think of other people coming in when we've got something relevant at the moment.
and also lots of people told that record companies offered you that if you would take Bruce Dickinson as a new Black Sabbath singer, then you would get a deal with them or stuff like that.
Oh really? I haven't heard that one. Bruce Dickinson.
Bruce Dickinson.
Oh, I don't think so.
I haven't heard that.
I hadn't heard that one. That's another good rumour. You started it.
Even I wish.
I never heard that one.
It was in France, in the French issue of Metal Hammer.
Yeah.
French, yeah, they did wrote it.
Maybe if Bruce Dickinson put that.
Oh, maybe. Maybe something got mixed up. Yeah.
I never read that one. No, it wasn't. It wasn't a fact of. See, the problem is bringing anybody else into Black Sabbath. They're always going to come up, particularly if it's a known person. They're going to get hammered, because it's like when Ronnie came in. Everybody said about him. I mean, actually, Ronnie pulled it off good, but still people after the Ozzy thing. And then, of course, when Tony might have come in after Ronnie, then everybody's going, "He sounds like Ronnie," and it was like. So if you brought an Ian Gillan, the same, same problem. So if you brought someone in of a name, it's difficult. It's hard to say which way it could go. Which way would the fans accept it or not, or would they rather see somebody new there?
But have you a dream future for Black Sabbath for yourself? Something you really wish to have would be the best of all?
I've enjoyed the last, 6 months of what I've been doing, really, doing my own project, and then being able to tour as the original Sabbath has been good for me. And I think it's been good for everybody to be able to, because the amount of people that said, oh, we've never seen, the original Black Sabbath, or we've never, we wish we'd had a chance to see it, or whatever. So it was good as far as that's concerned, and it worked out a lot better than what I thought it would. We all got on well, as I say, and it just depends now if it's going to last. Nobody knows. You just don't know. But again, you don't know with anybody. Any band you have, you don't know how long it's going to last.
When I spoke to you, this was December, I last spoke to you. So somebody asked a question, would you like to get back on the reunion? And then you said, yes, I would like to do it. Did you have an idea then? Or...
No, you don't know. The thing happened so quick. I mean, I was planning on, I was doing my own thing.
Solo stuff, yeah.
And I went over to LA to record do my stuff, and I'd have had it finished all be out. So I went over there to do that, and then before I left, I had the call from Sharon saying about doing something with Ozzy. So then I got over to the States and started writing a bit with Bob, and then started changing a few things to write for Ozzy then, thinking we'd do a couple of tracks with Ozzy,
with Ozzy or for him?
Well, for Ozzy, yeah. And I went down to Ozzy's rehearsal, and we had a jam for a couple of days. And that was it, really. Next thing, we ended up touring, rehearsing for a tour. So it all happened so quick. I mean, it wasn't planned. It just sort of, it happened really very, very quick.
Just that when I spoke to you in December, you seemed, after all that had gone on, you still seemed like you wanted to do the reunion.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do that, but I mean, obviously you think, I thought for a long time it's going to happen, and I thought, no, that's it now, it's not really going to happen. So it's just gone up and down, and it's one of them things. It'll happen when it's time, if it's going to happen. Otherwise, I'd sort of quite honestly, I was giving up hope on whether it was going to happen. Because the deeper we were getting into problems with each other, I thought, oh, it's never going to happen now.
So what do you think today about the reunion with Ronnie James Dio? Is it something today you're sad about, or is it something you said, yeah, it was okay to have a try?
Oh no, I think it was all right. I think it was good to try that with Ronnie that time. You don't know anything until you try, and I think it was good to try that then.
If you have the chance to do it again,
It cost a fortune, but it was. We lost millions on it. Right? Well, it was just all the mess around. It took too long, It did cost a lot of money because of the time that we took to record it and flying backwards and forwards to the States with everything, all the gear, and then bringing it back and recording here, and it just took a long time. A lot of messing about with a lot of money wasted on it. If it came to it again now and you could plan it different, then it would have been okay. But we had to try that. Originally Cozy was involved and he wasn't, and Vinny, and so.
So what would you do different next time?
What if I was to have that chance again to do that? Get together quietly first and come up with some ideas, and then see who we're going to use to play it in the band. Well, if it was going to be Vinny or Cozy or whatever, and then rehearse the tracks of the ideas we got with a vocal melody, as opposed to just doing stuff without not knowing what we're going to be vocally. It just took too long, just dragged on a bit. But it was good to try it. I mean, it was good to try it. Is that half an hour?
Yeah, just like that.
Right, first, not so.
We're all high tech, aren't we?
Doesn't it run on slow speed? That.
I've no idea, I've borrowed it.
Oh.
I've no idea.
It's just great, mate.
Everything is borrowed too, yeah?
Oh, is it? Oh, no.
The camera, everything.
Right, carry on.
Okay. The first thing I heard of the Reunion was the Time Machine Wayne's World version.
Yeah.
And this one was really heavy. It was really like I expected the Reunion to sound like that. And then later on, I bought the Dehumanizer record in a shop, and everything sounded a little more clearer. Yeah? Like all the corners were smoothed away. Yeah? It sounded a little bit more commercial. With some
On the same track.
on the same track, yeah, because
Yeah.
you reproduced it for the record, I think. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really sad to say that the record doesn't sound like the Time Machine Wayne's World version, because this one was rough and heavy. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the problem, you see. I mean, you tend to. It's so easy to fall into that trap, and that's why now at the moment I'm recording stuff that's I'm not having to re-record it all again.
Yeah.
I'm just doing it, and that's it. The guitars and whatnot. I mean, we might add drums and whatnot, but there, when we've done that, so then we record it again, and you can't always get the same feel. We've done the same on the Mob Rules. The original Mob Rules was great, really good. We'd done it at John Lennon's house in his studio. Well, in the house actually, we had gear all over the house, and we first wrote that track there, Mob Rules, and it was great. We used the gear he had floating around. We never used our equipment, and it was really good. The sound was all old gear, but it was a great sound. And but Martin Birch wanted to obviously do his version. He wanted to, when he'd done the rest of the album, he didn't want this version. He wanted to be involved in the version, I think. So we re-recorded it again, and it didn't have the same excitement as the original version had.
The first version, did it appear on the Heavy Metal soundtrack? Is that the version?
No, it didn't. No, that was the recorded version. But the first version we had was the demo was great. It was really good, really good.
And was this time Mac the reason for this strange sound of the Dehumanizer record?
Who?
Mac, the producer of Dehumanizer. Was it Mac?
Oh, Mac, yeah. I forgot I've done that one. Who?
I won't tell him.
Oh dear. Well, yes. I mean, Mac was obviously involved in that one. Yeah. I think, as I say, it went on so long that we just it lost a bit of interest in it. If we'd have been able to capture it all there and then, I think it would have had a lot more energy and a lot more rawness. But I think because we started doing the old bit of putting the drummers in and doing the guitars on top of that, it come too clean. Takes all the when you can all do it as a band, it makes it rough and raw. And that's what we've done with the Mob Rules. Is that we've done it as a band when we first done the original track, and it was really raw and dirty, and it was great. But we felt, we've done that mistake on many bloody times. The demo sounds better than the original, than the master.
Maybe release a demo next time.
Yeah, absolutely. It has. I've got better demos of that. It must sound better than the bloody album.
But Mob Rules is still a great album, I should say.
Yeah, I still like that.
My favorite.
Just going back to the Ozfest, when that show was cancelled because of Ozzy's voice,
Yeah.
and all the other bands came on and did a jam.
Yeah.
Were you around when that was happening?
I was there, but I didn't play.
You didn't play.
No.
What do you think of the?
Great coaching trying to get me to play. Nope.
Nope.
And then they wanted me to go on and announce that Ozzy wasn't going to be there. You've got no chance of that. There's no way I'm walking out there saying we're not playing. So I didn't do that. But yeah, they went on and done the I mean, they were really great. The band. I mean, they were really nice people, and Pantera were particularly a great bunch of guys. And they went out jamming away, and Ozzy's band as well. They were really nice people. But it didn't happen when they were told that we weren't going to be playing at the end, and Ozzy weren't going to be showing up. Then it was all out to play. They just fucking wrecked the place. So then I thought, oh God, everybody thought, oh, it's going all right. It's going all right. Bob, that was it. They just smashed the place to bits. And so that was it, really. And then we had to reschedule it to go back. And it was sort of a week after the tour had finished, so we went back. But that was a bloody nightmare as well, because we got a plane, we rented a plane to fly us in. And we got halfway out there, and the plane, all this smoke came in through the plane. Oh no, fucking plane's on fire or something, you know. And we was getting really hot. Bloody hell. And I said to the guy, what's going on? He said, I'm going to have to turn around and land. Oh no. I thought, this is it, we're dead, you know, we're addicts. This is how we're going to end up. We're all together, we're going to die. So he'd done that turnaround. It turns out the air conditioning had gone wrong, and it had just burnt out, and all this smoke had come into the cabin. And we had to get another plane and flew out there to do it again. So that was the beginning of the day. I thought, oh no, what's going to happen now? The rest of the day, we're going to be late for the gig now. What next going to happen? You know? But it went great. There was only us playing. It really went well, really good. Ozzy's band and us. Mm-hmm. It went really well. Really good. I think that's what I'd have liked to have done in the first place. I'd like to have gone on just as a Sabbath set and done that. Because I think having to go through all the bands all the day and then Ozzy's set and then us, you know, for me it would have been better for us to go and just do a Sabbath thing.
Was it a long day for you? Or were you,
it was a long day, and I'd have liked to have gone on and played a full set, you know. I'd have liked to have gone and done a long set as opposed to 50 minutes or an hour when we were playing. You know. For me, I didn't feel like we'd done enough, you know. But I loved it, but I'm so used to going on playing a long time and feeling like you played. And hanging around all day, you know, because you're going to be there. So, yeah.
There's a lot of press and things to do in the day.
There was lots of stuff, yeah. Well, that sort of set TV stuff up and interviews, so that was early parts of the day. Then you sort of see it, and it was great first, but you can't go out. You can't go out into the audience by anyone. I mean, I tried it one day, and it's just horrendous. It frightened me to death. All these kids come running over. Well, that's it. I've had it. So you sort of got to be sat in the dressing room or on the bus or whatever.
Keep on book reading and stuff like that.
Eh?
Keep on books reading and stuff like that for the whole day. Yeah?
Book reading? Oh, no, I watch films and stuff like that. Have a play for a bit and then put that down and watch another film. Do an interview. It was good then.
Good.
Can we stick back to the Born Again record?
Born Again?
There's a big jump in time. You know?
Yeah.
Because I always was interested why everybody speaks so bad about the record. Yeah? Always when you see in the press or the band or the people involved talking about it, they say, yeah, Born Again, good idea, but the record is not that good as it's supposed to be.
Well, why we weren't pleased with it was the sound of it. It's fucking awful. I mean, I say this is one of the times when I've got tapes at home. Each one of us have got tapes at home from the studio that sounded great. But when it was mastered and went into a stage of being pressed, it sounded awful. And we never heard the finished version. We never heard the press version because we were in Europe touring at the time. And it was out. And by the time we'd heard it, it was number 3 or something. So, you know, and it was all distorted and it sounded awful. And then we find out later that nobody had okayed the pressing. Nobody had okayed it. So it turns out that apparently what had happened, I found out later, that somebody had the lacquers, and if you leave them too long, they go off, and the sound goes funny before they press it. And apparently they'd sat around for too long. And so when they pressed it up, the sound was all distorted and stuff. Because we couldn't figure it out. We thought, well, these tapes we've got sound good. But you put the album on, it sounds horrible. Or the cassette.
Yeah.
So is the remastered version different? Or is it any better to your ears?
I must be quite honest, I haven't heard the remastered version.
Well, from our point of view, we do sound checking in Europe with a friend of mine of each record.
Yeah.
And you can say each printing sounds different of a Sabbath record, yeah. for example, the UK original vinyl version of Born Again is the best one, and then the next one you can hear the German one. And I would say the Born Again Remastered is among the very worst version of Born Again I've ever heard. Yeah, because
Really?
they just took the high frequencies, put them up very loud,
Yeah.
and so when you hear the, I mean, if you have the Ghetto Blaster, the cheap machine, that's okay. When you have big hi-hats, but
They just yeah, but I think what it was, though, as I say, was when it was actually they probably just got the thing and tweaked it up a bit.
yeah.
But you're tweaking up a bad version of it anyway, so it's difficult.
Why haven't they asked you for the original tapes? I mean, was it just weren't you involved? Or?
No, it wasn't really involved in that. I mean, they done that. Castle Communications done all that stuff. I mean, we wasn't involved in that at all.
No.
Nobody was involved in it. I mean, they just done it.
It's strange that they also remastered the Eternal Idol album and the Seven Star album. I mean,
It says what?
is that what, sorry?
What did you say?
They remastered also the Eternal Idol album
Yeah.
and the Seven Star album, which I thought is really strange because I mean they produced so good. What do you want to remaster? Yeah? So I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. All we done was give them permission. We done a deal with them to do that. They wanted to remaster them and all that stuff. So that was in their hands then. I don't know why the reasons were they've done that.
and so you couldn't say no or yes or something. Or,
I don't think we were in a position because they were going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Once they got the stuff,
You don't tell them the tracks.
No, we didn't ban them. We've done it, leased it out to them. So leased the rights for them to do that, and then they come back to us, mate.
What's that with the Guitar World? You've got in the column for that magazine?
Yes. It's been good. We're doing a column that will go on for I don't know how long. It's only we've done about 3 now.
How you do that? Is it? Are you actually writing it or recording it or?
Recording it. I'm getting together with I forgot his bloody name. I think a guy that's transcribing the solos and stuff. And we get together and talk about what we're going to do on it. And do it on tape. And then he wants to know.
Right.
Much like we're doing now.
Yeah.
One of the biggest questions we have is in the internet there's a tape going around which is said to be the Earth demos. So the very first Black Sabbath recording, and I have a copy with me. Maybe you can have a listen and tell us if this is Black Sabbath for the very first time or not. Is it Black Sabbath here?
Oh, okay. He happens to have another tape got here with himself.
So, cleaned up, I think. Oh.
Yeah.
So we can have a listen.
What's this?
The Earth demos. It should be you playing guitar. Together with maybe Geezer and Bill. Back in '68 or something like that.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't know.
Think about what you're saying. You can destroy the dreams of thousands of tape collectors.
don't think so. So I'm really now see. So, is it going to be a lot of people upset then?
Oh no, not at all. I mean, not everybody got it now. It's
No, that's not us.
not you.
So who is it then?
We all hoped
You
it.
didn't pay for it, did you?
No, I just traded it for another tape.
When were you first recording? Do you remember?
First recordings.
If it wasn't them, then what was it?
It was when we done. I think with Jim Simpson and I forgot what it's called now. Track either.
There was a couple that were the famous ones. A song for Jim.
Song for Jim, yeah, they were
The
the
Rebel.
first times. Yeah, the Rebel,
That's
yeah, that's
all.
it, Rebel. They were the first things we'd done, really.
Do you have copies of them records?
No.
No. Do
You've
want
got
to
them,
do
I
it?
suppose.
No, unfortunately, Pete Zafos, we hope, has, but
Pete Sarfus probably
he's keeping them.
copied them and sold them.
No, it's the only thing he's not selling them. Also talking about old recordings, why have you put a third verse into Black Sabbath on the very first tour? No. Can you remember?
On the very first tour we sang with it.
Germany, maybe it was.
Yeah, well, it was trial and error. I mean, those we've done that on a few different tracks. War Pigs. I mean, there's some of the live versions are totally different verses.
Yeah.
Where we hadn't quite finished the song yet, and Ozzy was making things up as we're going on. We'd add another verse.
But I mean, Black Sabbath was recorded at that time.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, it sounds cool. Yeah?
I don't know. I really don't know. I can't remember what we've done that then. That's a
I
long
can
time
imagine,
ago.
Some years have gone by.
I mean, some things have happened by accident. Sometimes we'd stick things in by accident, you know, and realise afterwards, did we do another verse in that, or did we cut a verse out? Or
I have the proof with me.
Yeah,
my CD.
yeah. I believe you.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
No, I don't know.
One of the questions.
Maybe we lengthened it out or something. I don't know. Maybe we thought we'd make it longer. I don't know. We had these little moments, you know, where we decided to do something stupid.
No, I don't think it was stupid. Yeah. But it took me 4 years to get a copy of the recording, and that was a problem. So I don't have a lot of other questions. Have you some in special order? Or?
No, mine are just ones from the members of the fan club. Just like various ones.
Why don't I give up?
Yeah. Like I keep spending my money on these records. They're all very sort of abstract ones, really. Perhaps do a few if you want.
Yeah.
Mind. Why is Jeff Nichols still playing Hidden Beyond the Stage? I know he isn't now, but it's a while about his questions. I think it's always saying,
well, have you seen him? Oh, dear. No more. I've got nothing to add to that, really.
no comment.
I think one of the reasons was it was weird with him on stage because he tends to get carried away. Jeff was all this, and everybody felt that it was not looking right by doing all that.
Maybe you can go with the image.
But I think he likes it on the side. What he did for a point because he could hear things that were going on better from when he was on my side, and in particular when he used to be on my side with Ronnie. It was good, it worked out well, but when he started going to the other side of the stage, it was difficult for both of us, really. Because I couldn't always hear him properly. So, of course,
No, what being with Ozzy, you mean?
no, it's just the original.
It's like Jeff did a bit of guitar work as well, didn't he?
Yes, he did, yeah.
Noticed
And,
that.
added a couple of bits himself for this album.
still in touch with?
Yeah, I see him. Yes, I'm seeing him tonight actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
send best wishes.
we go for walks. Yeah, well, yeah.
And will he be also on the solo record? Somehow involved?
I don't know because it's not a keyboard record. So there's no keyboards at all on it.
Absolutely no.
No, it's all guitar.
Maybe for an intro?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think it's not that sort of record. It's hard to say without you hearing bits and dabs of it, but and I haven't got it with me.
Oh.
Tape. So.
You don't really sort of like hear a lot of keyboards on modern records, do you?
No.
That's trying
I mean,
to
it's-
get that feel.
It's sort of a period at the moment now. I think I'd like to just do it as guitar because it's working out that way. And as you say, you don't sort of hear much of it now.
That's a good question. What drives you to keep on making music?
I enjoy it. I enjoy doing it. I've got lots left in me to do, so I want to do it.
Like a
Keep
track every
playing.
day, you know.
Eh?
Just all these
A
tracks
track a
just
day, yeah.
rolling
That's
off.
right. I mean, actually, that was great for me to work with somebody who could actually do that. And we were really clicked, and we were doing stuff, coming out with some songs, every day. Well, certainly riffs and backing stuff every day. And I've never worked like that with somebody who programs things and then we play. Never worked that. But he's programming all these different sounds and making these different sounds, and I was coming up with riffs to them, so it opened another side for me. Instead of me initially coming up with the riff and then putting stuff to it. It was a different way, and I liked it.
Would you consider using a female vocalist? I mean,
Yes, absolutely. In fact, we are at the moment as we speak.
Yeah?
Mm.
but you're actually auditioning or actually put
Oh no, she's well known, but I'm not going to say what it is yet, in case it falls through.
You can tell us, we won't tell anybody.
You would?
What do you do with your free time these days?
What free time?
What free time?
I
is
remember that. Free time, yeah. Spend money usually at the moment. That's what I'm doing at the minute. I'm buying cars again. I've got to get back to work.
The song After Forever appears very Christian. Do you have any sympathy towards Christian beliefs?
Oh, I'm not going to get into that.
No.
That'll open another can of worms.
Well, the next question was, do you worry that some people may turn to Satan because of Black Sabbath?
I don't think they turn to Satan. I mean, you've got all the bloody... Through the years, people have said things from the Beatles days or even before that about satanic stuff happening in their songs. And but even more so these days, I think, with the likes of Marilyn Manson type people.
Mm.
I don't think. No, I think people know what Black Sabbath are about.
Yeah, the people
so
who,
after bloody 30 years.
all this time. The question here is, why do you favour the more lighter style these days? But of course, they're saying this album. won't be.
Yeah. I mean, I do like some of the lighter stuff, and as well as heavy. So we can't just keep playing heavy stuff. I like to play, sort of a different side, the lighter approach sometimes.
You've got friends with Brian May. Is there any chance of getting
Who?
together? Brian fell for that, didn't I? Any chance of getting together with him and doing some recording?
Well, we threatened we'd do something. I mean, I might even get him to play on this album. He already phoned me up, said he'd like to produce it. I said, well, I've already got something. And he said, can I play on it then? I said, all right, yeah. I'd like him to play on it. Yeah, I'd like to play on it.
Can you imagine to do an album without a tour? I mean, when you're 80 years old and can't tour anymore?
Yeah, I'd still like to do albums, yeah.
Yeah.
Even if I can't tour. In fact, I mean, I may even do an album, but I can't tour with it just to do an album. Just something you enjoy to do.
Yeah.
Maybe other people might like it.
So we will have Black Sabbath album for next
I
weekend.
don't know about Black Sabbath album, my own.
Please, a Black Sabbath.
Huh?
Black Sabbath. Oh, yeah.
If you were writing your autobiography, what would your favourite recollection of the past be?
Oh, God. I don't know. I'd have to really think about that because there's a lot of things that's happened in the past that that have been, you know, good times and a lot of bad times. But obviously, you tend to remember all the good times better. But we've had some good past.
Are there any guitar players that you admire from bands today?
I admire, not really. I don't know if I admire them. I like some of the styles of playing. I'm saying that. I can't name any. No, I like some of the. What's today from when?
Current stuff, I presume.
Current
Current
stuff.
stuff.
See, a lot of the current stuff is from doing what we were doing anyway. So,
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
but I mean, I like it.
I suppose like today, there's no real guitar heroes, is there?
There's not so much
As
guitar
was.
work now as opposed. There's more riffs and
Yeah.
there's not a lot of guitar flashness as such, which I'm
No.
glad about, really. I mean, I think it's gone into a nice sort of way. There's not all this, you know, sort of, just horrendous guitars going on, which is great. I mean, it's great, some great playing, but I think it's a bit baffling for people. I think it's gone down more to the simplicity side of it now again.
I mean, if you go to a gig these days, it's very rare that you'll get a guitar solo. No, I'm talking about from current bands.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
it's very rare you would get a guitar solo.
Yeah.
So do you miss a little bit the music scene of the 70s and of the 80s, where technical approach was really important?
Oh yeah, I mean, I like that. So I like the idea of having to create your own, create a sound, create things, and make things work. Now you can go out and buy bloody on any keyboard. You've got millions of different sounds and effects that you can plonk in. It's got it. But then you had to create them. You know, you had to make sounds. You had to make an idea work, and it was exciting, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot easier to do that now, where it cuts out the experimenting stage, really. I mean, it's great doing the experiments. I mean, I remember one time, actually, it was on Born Again, when we done Born Again. Bill, we wanted this effect on Disturbing the Priests, and Bill got this big bucket of water, and he got this anvil, and it was really heavy, and he got it hanging on a piece of rope, and he had to lower it in to get this effect, hit it, and lower it in to get this effect, and then lift it out again. And it was a great effect, but it took hours to do. Where now you get a keyboard going, and that'd be it, you know. But it was just the experimenting side of it, and we, in the old Sabbath days, we experimented with a lot of things. I mean, we'd take ages. I would, in particular, just messing around, and everybody moan about me doing it, but it'd work in the end of the day. Usually, 99% of the time, it'd work. But I used to like experimenting with stuff. You know.
Wasn't it you who played the flute on the Born Again album?
It was, yes.
On which track?
I forgot now. Forgot what it was. I played it on a few tracks on albums.
Yeah.
Sabbath Bloody Sabbath album.
It's not that easy to find out by listening to you, I think.
No, I only played bits, little bits. And I did actually do a complete song on it, a good tune on it, which we used to play in Germany when we played at the Star Club. And it was become a part of the set. It took full time, I think, that's all it was. But it was all right, it was good for them, you know. But it was a little novelty thing. I got into wanting to play that. And I tried other things. I tried other instruments. I think everybody in the course of playing tends to go to this stage of trying a lot of different instruments and trying to play everything at once. And I did. And I'm included in that. I tried to, you know, I played the piano and a flute, and then I bought a sax. I made a right row with that. Then I bought a sitar that I couldn't play at all. Then I bought bagpipes, which I couldn't play at all. Couldn't get a sound out of them. And violins. I remember Geezer and myself when we done, I think it was, what album was it? Where we had the strings. I think it was volume 4 or Sabbath Bloody Sabbath album. And we were going to use strings on a track. And so we never thought we were hiring anybody. We were going to play them ourselves. So we got violin brought over and a cello, and I'm trying to play. Go on.
Beeping at me now.
Have you got another tape?
Oh, I've got loads, yeah.
Oh, bloody hell. Flash. Oh, yeah, as well. How long do you think you stay there for?
Come prepared, don't you?
My plane home goes tomorrow. We have plenty of time, man.
Oh, you're leaving tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yeah.
All right.
Just come here for the interview, then go back to Germany.
Oh.
I have to learn for examinations, like October,
Yeah.
for university, so I don't have that much time. Otherwise, I would stay here and do some background jobs and stuff like that.
Oh,
But next time, on the Ostfest in UK.
all right. Okay,
Around
good.
December.
Go on then, by the way.
So yes, we got a violin and a cello, and Guise was going to play the cello, and I was going to play the violin, and we started trying to play these things, and it sounded fucking horrible. I mean, it sounded like dead cats, like somebody trod on a cat. Because we just assumed we'd be able to play them, you know, and we've got these things. There we are in the studio trying to play them, and we thought, oh, fuck it, let's get a string section in. So we did, we got a string section. But it was funny, you know, you just assume, you just get to that stage of trying to play everything, and you become like Ry Wood and want to play everything, you know.
Well, when you look at the track lists of the concerts of the last 10 years, there are always certain albums which you leave out for track list. Volume 4, Technical Ecstasy, Never Say Die, Born Again. All these albums, the tracks were never played again. Could you change it maybe in the future? Because usually when you got the last Black Sabbath concert, at least you could say half of the songs you know before they go. The surprise was not that much. Would be interesting to hear Tony Martin singing Zero the Hero or you messing up with some Atlas Cross songs or stuff like that.
Well, it did sing. We did do Zero the Hero, I think, Tony Martin. I can't remember.
Tony Martin sang Angry Heart from Southern Star. That was the only one.
Yeah, but I think we tried Zero the Hero. I think we did.
Really, yeah.
I think we did. But there's only so many again you can do, and you know. There's always somebody going to come up and say, "Oh, you didn't play so and so." So we picked a set out that was different, you know, that was from different albums, and it was difficult because there's a lot of stuff to choose from, and you can't play it all. So you had to leave some of the ones that you'd probably like to play out.
For example, Zero the Hero was played on the Born Again tour, and Never Again as a complete song.
Yeah.
And the same as with Never Say Die, the title track, for example, or Sign of the Southern Cross.
We did play Never Say Die. Oh, not Never Say Die. No, we didn't. I'm thinking of Die Young. No, we didn't. Yeah.
Maybe it would be great.
Well, actually, we did. We tried. Rock and Roll Doctor. It was with Ian.
Sounds funny here.
Huh?
It sounds funny. I had a bootleg with it.
Oh yeah, oh it's horrible. Yeah. We couldn't
And
read
Super
the notes.
And Super Note,
yeah.
both tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you see, that's the thing. Certain singers, like Ian, it was difficult for him to sing certain Sabbath songs. And the same for others. It's probably different for him to sing Ian songs, or you know, you have to pick songs that would suit that particular person.
I mean, if you listen to Ian Gillan at the end of the Born Again, also on tapes I have, at the end of the Born Again tour in '84, his voice sounds really strange. But was he somehow ill, or because sometimes?
Well, he had problems with his throat for quite a period, which when we got together, we didn't know it, but he was having problems because we never heard him sing at first. When we were there in the studio recording the album, we hadn't heard a note from him as yet.
Oh.
Because he still got a raspy voice and whatnot. I mean, at rehearsals, he'd sing a little bit, but not too much. And then we came in to record the album, and it was only like when we put the backing track and he'd go in and sing. There's a couple of the songs, he'd done one song that just sounded nothing like a Black Sabbath song. It sounded like the Coasters or something. There's all these harmonies on it. And I was the one that had to go in and go, it doesn't sound right, which caused all sorts of problems. But he was all right, he was good about it. I mean, he changed it.
There's always a small battle between Deep Purple fans and Black Sabbath fans. The Ian Gillan period, was Black Sabbath. We all, also in Germany, the Black Sabbath fans always say, look, Ian Gillan, he was able to do one concert and as a one album and one show. Then he had to go back to Deep Purple. It was tougher for him.
Well, it was a totally different style for him. I mean, he you know, it was awkward for him to sing that stuff. I mean, the Deep Purple stuff was great.
Sorry, no.
No.
I was saying, talking about shows. What was the most memorable show with Black Sabbath? Is the one?
Memorable.
Most memorable.
God, I can't remember.
So many. There's been one or two.
We've done a lot, yeah. It's a lot of memorable shows. I mean, a lot of the times we played at Madison Square Gardens were great. That for the first initial time of playing there, that sort of them sort of venues, you know, that were real prestigious sort of gigs. Oh, great! You know. And the California Jam and things like that, you really remember because they were like special occasions as such.
Mm.
We did do another show that I remember we never actually played. Because too many people came and we couldn't get in. We played this show and who else was on the bill? Candide and somebody else. And I was in the bar with Bob Height, and we found out that we couldn't get in to do the show. Neither one of us, because it was foggy. Fog came down. Everybody left the cars on the freeway, so it was total blocked. Everything was blocked. So nobody could get in to do the gig. So all the support bands were on playing, and that was it. And there was like they expected I think 70,000. Well, it's something like 400,000 people or something stupid arrived at this place, and they just didn't cater for them. And so everybody just left the cars, and it was chaos.
Just left them on the road.
They just left them on the road, yeah. They just left them like that. It was on the news. And so I stayed in the bar. Yeah.
So when you look back at the Black Sabbath history, especially the 80s and 90s, do you regret a little bit all the lineup changes? You would say to yourself, well, maybe it would have been better to have a constant, stable lineup?
Well, yes.
When you look back,
you'd always like a constant lineup, but it doesn't always happen as you'd like it. I mean, the intention wasn't to break up or get rid of anybody. It just happens that way, you know. That if it's not working as that unit, then you have to. Somebody leaves, and you've got to replace them. Otherwise, you all just break up. So that's how that happened. I mean, people were saying about constantly changing lineups. Or the reason you change them is because either somebody doesn't want to do it anymore, or it's not working anymore. You know. It's not a thing just to say, "Oh, I'm going to change them this time and change them again and change them again." It wasn't the case of that. It was you try and keep something together that you like, but it doesn't always happen. You've run out now?
No, I've not run out, but
oh, right.
There's some of the questions a bit...
Great, thanks a lot. Thanks for your patience.
Well, it'll take us about 4 days to transcribe all this. Yeah.
I have to translate it.
Oh dear, yeah.
Make a good English German text.
Good English German text. I've got to go low again.
Have you?
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
Get everything cut off.
This is your...
Get everything cut off, mate.
Turn your tape off, mate.